Roots of equation, secant method. Secant method, let x0 and x1 be the initial limits of the interval, then the first approximation or first iteration it is given like this: x2 is equal to x1 minus into the bracket x1 minus x0 divided by f of x1 minus f of x0 bracket complete into f of x1. In general, you can see the formula, it is x of n plus 1 is equal to xn minus into the bracket xn minus 1 divided by f of xn minus f of xn minus 1 bracket complete into f of x into n. Formula is very simple. So, again repeat the formula. So, x0 and x1 it is given and we have to find the x2. So, x2 is equal to x1 minus x0 divided by f of x1 minus f of x0 into f of x1. Then we have to find the x3. Then x3 is equal to x2 minus into the bracket x2 minus x1 divided by f of x2 minus f of x1 into f of x2. So, this is the formula. Now, we will see one example. Find the root of the equation x into e raised to x minus cos x is equal to 0 using secant method, correct to 4 decimal places. Now, first thing you have to write what is given. See, equation it is given, f of x is equal to x into e raised to x minus cos x is equal to 0. This equation it is given and initial root we have to find. So, x0 and x1 we have to find. So, for this you can put the x is equal to 0. So, f of 0 is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, 0 into e raised to 0 minus cos 0 is equal to minus 1. This is the negative value. Then you can put the value of x is equal to 1. So, f of 1 is equal to 1 into e raised to 1 minus cos of 1 is equal to plus 2.1779. This is the positive value. So, we can say that root lies in between 0 and 1. Now, this is again iterative process. To minimize the iteration, we have to find values in between 0 and 1. So, in between 0 and 1 there are different values you can take here. So, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, so on up to the 1. And for this each values 0.1, 0.2 we have to find f of x. So, equation it is f of x is equal to x into e raised to x minus cos x is equal to 0. So, first you can put the 0.1 into this equation. So, 0.1 into e raised to 0.1 minus cos into 0.1 is equal to 0. Find the answer. Answer it is minus 0.88. Same procedure, you can put the value here 0.2 in this equation. Answer it is 0 minus 0.73. Again you can put the value here 0.3 in this equation. Answer it is minus 0.55. 0.4 answer it is minus 0.32. Then 0.5 you can put in this equation. Answer it is minus 0.05. So, this is negative answer. Then you can put 0.6 in this equation. So, 0.6 into e raised to 0.6 minus cos of 0.6 is equal to positive 0.2679. Now, root lies in between 0.6 and 0.5 and 0.6. So, this is a negative value. So, treat as a x0 and 0.6 this value it is a positive, treat as a x1. So, rather than we are finding the root in between 0 and 1, we are finding the root in between 0.5 and 0.6. So, iteration will be less. First iteration we have to find the x2. So, formula it is x2 is equal to x1 minus into the bracket x1 minus x0 divided by f of x1 minus f of x0 bracket complete into f of x1. 0.5 it is a x0. So, within this you can see here x1 it is a 0.6 and x0 it is a 0.5. We have to find the value of f of x1. Again we have to find the value of f of x0. So, first we are finding the value of 0.5. So, x0 is equal to, we have to put this 0.5 into the equation, 0.5 into e raised to 0.5 minus cos of 0.5 is equal to minus 0.0532. This is the answer. Then we have to find f of x1. X1 it is a 0.6, so 0.6 you can put in this equation. So 0.6 into e raised to 0.6 minus cos of 0.6 is equal to 0.2679. Now all the values are known. These values you can put in this equation. So x2 is equal to 0.6 minus into the bracket 0.6 minus 0.5 divided by 0.2679. This one it is f of x1 minus f of x0, it is minus 0.053 into f of x1, it is 0.2679. Do the calculation. After calculation, x2 is equal to 0.5165. Now this value you can put in this equation. So 0.5165 into e raised to 0.5165 minus cos of 0.5165 bracket complete is equal to, answer it is minus 0.0038. Now you have to find the second iteration for the x3. So x3 is equal to x2 minus into the bracket x2 minus x1 divided by f of x2 minus f of x1 into f of x2. Again x2 it is known, x1 it is known, unknown are only f of x2 as well as f of x1. So f of x2 it is minus 0.0038 and f of x1 it is 0.2679. Then you can do the calculation here and find the x3. So x3 it is 0.5176. Again this 0.5176 is you can put in this equation. So 0.5176 into e raised to 0.5176 minus cos of 0.5176 is equal to minus 0.0004. This is the value. Now go for the third iteration. So we have to find the x4. So x4 is equal to x3 minus into the bracket x3 minus x2 divided by f of x3 minus f of x2 bracket complete into f of x3. Value of x3 it is 0.5716. So you can put here. Value of x2 it is this x2 value, it is 0.5165. You can put in this equation. Then f of x3, so f of x3 it is minus 0.004 and f of x2 this is the value of f of x2, so minus 0.0038 multiplication with f of x3. So f of x3 it is minus 0.0004. Do the calculation. X4 is equal to 0.5176. Now if you compare the values of x3, so x3 it is a 0.5176 and x4 it is a 0.5176. Both the values are same, then we have to stop, and this is the root of the equation. So final answer x is equal to 0.5176. Thank you for watching the video.